100.9 The Farm. His new single is called Countrified. You know him from The Voice on NBC. It's good to have him in the studio. Jared Blake, how you doing, man?
Doing great, brother. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Dude, we had you on the show. It's probably been close to 2 years ago. You called in, we chit-chatted, talked about The Voice. Now here you are in the studio about 2 years later, man. Yeah. How did that show change your life?
Well, I'm here.
That's right.
I went from calling you to coming to you.
That's a good thing for us anyway, man.
No, I mean, obviously, it was huge. I mean, you had 14 million people watching you per night.
Yeah.
And people constantly ask me, are you glad that you did the show? And it's like, of course, yeah. I'm glad I did the show.
You were on Blake Shelton's team.
Yep, the only team, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that guy's won it, the last 2 seasons? I believe, maybe the last 3? I don't know.
I think it's 3.
He's dominating on that show. Did you pick up a lot from him? Were you kind of like a sponge, just soaking up some knowledge about the industry?
You know what? I tell you what, the coolest part about hanging out with Blake was that we had worked with a lot of the same people and knew a lot of the same people in camp, and I had been in Nashville for almost 10 years at that point.
Yeah.
And so the coolest part was he just kind of gave you respect for the fact that you had been out there paying your dues, and he treated you like an artist.
Right.
And so with me, my relationship with him was a little bit different. Coming from like a songwriter perspective and stuff and working with the same people, he more really helped me to try to prepare for the aftermath after the show of like where to go, how to take care of this. And a lot of it was like fan advice. Like he was very, very adamant. I thought this was one of the coolest things about him. He was very adamant about the fact that, like once you have country fans there with you, all you got to do is take care of them. You nurture them, let them know how much they mean to you. They're there forever.
As long as you don't pull a Dixie Chicks on them.
Right. Yeah.
Is Blake in your cell phone right now? Could you call Blake and say, man, I need some advice? What would you do here?
I don't know if he'd answer, but he's
there. I'm not sure he'd pick up.
He's running 2 seasons a year and running a national tour.
Selling out shows.
And he's got Miranda to deal with.
Yeah, you got that right. He's juggling a lot, man. Talk about the new single, Countrified. It's been a while since you were on The Voice. Is the process, it's so painstaking to try and get songs out there right now. Does it take forever?
It hasn't been that it took forever so much. We just had a different approach. Like I said, after coming out of Nashville and after having, opportunities there and then things not necessarily working out, the one thing that we knew, and that was one of the things that we gathered from Blake, right after the show, Blake introduced us to Colt Ford, and we kind of sat down and talked to him about, the way that he had done things. And it became very obvious to us that the fans were the only way that, anything happened. Stations like yourself are the only way. And So we basically just hit the road and we stayed out there as much as possible and just toured and kind of waited for things to build naturally. And sure enough, the management team, the booking team brought us a new producer. The producer brought us the production, and everything just kind of built. And we really didn't push for anything. I just had a feeling that if I stayed on the road, things would start to build, and they have. And so, it's been 2 years almost since The Voice, but since then, though, we've done, almost 300 dates nationwide.
Right.
We've had a lot of opportunity to even go out of, the United States because of The Voice and everything.
Do we have a release date on the album?
We're looking at late summer. Right now, we're kind of in discussion about a few of the songs.
Yeah.
Because we've got a couple other artists that might be interested. So that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all, man. All right. We're going to debut the single in just a few minutes. It's called Countrified. You want to do a song first?
Whatever you want, brother.
What do you want to do?
All right. Well, this song was one of them that I wrote actually right before I went on The Voice. And it was a fan pick while we were on The Voice. People would send in messages all the time. So, kind of as a favor to the fans, as soon as we got off, that was the first song we recorded and released out to them and started doing it at the show. So if there's any fans out there listening, this would probably be the most recognizable song.
All right, this is Jared Blake live in the studio, 100.9 The Farm.
Down an old dirt road, put the grit in my teeth and the gravel in my throat. Jesus in my heart and the devil on my mind, working my hands and the belts of my behind. Never been the kind to run from nobody, I'm a smoking gun. I'm the bullet in the air and the fire in the night, blood on your knuckles and the finish to your fight. And I don't mind getting rowdy, I don't mind getting loud, I don't mind getting crazy, I don't mind. Don't mind getting dirty, I don't mind raising hell. 16, I had an old Ford, had rust on the hood, a dent in the door. Had a big black engine, she was four-wheel drive. Guess we was doing about 95. Blue lights flashed out of my rear view. Small town cop, nothing better to do. Tore through a field, rolled the truck 3 times. Looking for me across the county line. I don't mind getting rowdy, I don't mind getting loud, I don't mind getting crazy, I don't mind getting down, I don't mind getting dirty, I don't mind raising hell, I don't mind very well. I am the son of a son of a son of a working man. That's what I am. How but when Friday comes, I cash my check, bottles in both hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey. I don't mind getting rowdy, I don't mind getting loud, no, I don't mind getting crazy, I don't mind getting down, no, I don't mind getting dirty, I don't mind raising hell, no, I don't mind very well. No, I don't mind, yeah, very well. Hey.
Jared Blake live in the studio this morning on 100.9 The Farm.